Liz Marvel and Eric Goldstein are like a lot of couples.
We were introduced several years ago by a mutual friend.
We had both recently moved to Atlanta, and we both had daughters.
So we met on a blind play date.
That went on for a long time.
Did.
They know they need to be saving for retirement, but they're not quite sure how to do it.
All the retirement plans are confusing, and I'm hoping she'll be able to clarify which one is the best option for us.
Eric and Liz, tell me what you're doing to save for retirement.
I have a retirement fund through the organization that I work for, and they match my contribution. Eric works for himself, and so as of yet, we haven't done any retirement planning together.
But that's one of the things that we're trying to figure out, what's the best step.
Okay, good, because retirement really needs to step up to the top of your priority list. Mm-hmm. Do you have any ideas of where you should be saving first?
Not really, to be perfectly honest.
When you're self-employed, it's important to put aside a percentage of every check that comes in. When you have your own account at work, though, you have a real benefit. Probably either a 401k or a 403b. Those are essentially the same type of plan, where you put money in, you get a tax deduction for that, and then your employer matches the funds. But there's something else you should know, which is your money is going in now and getting a tax deduction when your tax bracket is probably pretty high. When you take the money out, it's going to be in retirement when most people have a much lower tax bracket. What you also want to consider is a Roth IRA. Now, a traditional IRA gives you a tax deduction when you put the money in, but when you take it out, it's taxable, just like with the 401k. With the Roth, by contrast, you don't get a tax deduction when you put the money in, but when it comes out, it's completely tax-free.
When we retire, I'm hoping that the children will be taken care of, that we'll have an opportunity to travel like we've always wanted to, and that we can just have a better sense of comfort about the way we live.
I'm hoping that the kids are well on their way to becoming successful adults, and I don't want to have to worry about where the money's coming from, and just making sure there's something there when we need it.
As a small business owner, do you know what your retirement options are?
Not really.
Okay. A lot is the short version. Probably the simplest is called a SEP IRA. It allows you to carve out some of your profit, get a tax deduction for it, and put it into a retirement fund where it can grow tax deferred until you take the money out in retirement. You have other options as well. As a small business owner, you could use a solo 401k, which works a lot like the 401k or 403b that Liz has at work. Another option is a defined benefit plan, and that works like a traditional pension. You put money in and you get a steady paycheck in retirement. The problem with defined benefit is it's pretty complicated. It requires a lot of help from accountants and actuaries. So it's definitely something to think about when the economy recovers and you've got a lot of money coming in, because you can stuff a lot aside and maybe make up for the years where you weren't able to save very much.
Are there tax breaks on that type of account?
Like a 401k or a SEP IRA, the money that you put in is absolutely tax deductible. It's tax deferred while it's growing, and then it's taxable again when you take it out. So what you want is a balance. You want to have the bulk of your money in stocks, 50 or 60%, and then fill the rest out with bonds and cash.
What do you mean by cash?
Well, when you go to sign up for your 401k or your 403b, whatever it happens to be, you'll be given different options. And one of the options is likely to be a money market fund or a cash equivalent investment. Another way to invest in cash is through certificates of deposit. But the idea is to have some money that's liquid and accessible and not exposed to the market, whether it's the bond market or the stock market.
All right, we got some work to do.
Yes, we do.
Eric and Liz, I hope now you have more information that you can go forward, set up the accounts you need, take advantage of that workplace plan, and build a retirement plan that's going to get you through the rest of your lives.
Great, thank you.
The conversation with Liz today brought to light the fact that we are, as of today, unprepared for retirement, and that we have a lot of work to do to get there. But some of the options she gave us make it clear that we will get there.